It's only a game. Why you have to be mad?
What is up, heroes of Dominion? My name is Charlie. This is Hero War Central, and today is Team Fight Tuesday. Now, in today's video, I'm going to go up against the top 5 defending teams in the arena on server 25. This is going to serve two purposes. First of all, it's a real active live server that's been around for a little while. It's going to show the quote-unquote defending meta, as it is the top 5. Rank 5 through or 1 through 5 in the arena defense, according to right now this morning at Tuesday at 6 a.m. And it's a nice snapshot of what some of the high level teams on my server are using. Now, what your server's going to be using in their top 5 might be dramatically different, and that's okay. Everybody's meta on their server is a little bit different depending on when the server came into existence and all of that. However, just a couple of points to mention here. This is Facebook. All right, so if you're on mobile, your results will probably vary a little bit. This is max testing mode, which means all heroes are maxed out. There are no pets involved, and no, there's no pets on mobile, but there's no pets involved on this. And the point of today is to try to build Heidi teams to counter these 5 quote-unquote defending meta teams. All right, so now that we got the disclaimer out of the way, I do want to mention that I live stream every day, Monday through Friday. We will be live streaming today, 12 p.m. Central Standard Time. I believe that is 6 p.m. UTC. Check your clocks, Google what time is it UTC, and should be 6 p.m. is whenever I live stream. So join us. We'll probably be doing a lot of Heidi team testing today. Should be a lot of fun. Now, as we go through each of these fights, I do want to talk about them a little bit. Rank 5 here is against excuse me, Rubber Ducky, and Rubber Ducky is using a Cleaver Anvari Nebula Peppy Helios team, and I'm going to use the core a lot of Aurora, Maya, and Heidi. And as this fight goes on, I want to mention a couple of things. First of all, this is absolute high-end arena. Okay, so you should have access to most, if not all, heroes if you're going to go for the top 5, top 10 in arena consistently. And all of these heroes are relatively easy to get. I'll never use Cleaver in fights like this because Cleaver is so random to get. But I do use Dorian to counter Cleaver. I use Jorgen to slow down Cleaver's energy gain. Of course, I'm using Heidi and Maya as my damage-dealing duo, and Aurora as a nice dodge hero up front. I like using Aurora because Aurora is probably the best hero on Facebook right now, but you could probably use, I don't know, Galahad, Astaroth, even other tanks like Ziri, different things like that. But the idea is, if Cleaver hooks Dorian, he will pull Dorian to the front. Aurora Peppy is probably a little better combo against this, but I wanted to run this test against using this particular setup, as they're all relatively easy to get heroes. And throughout this entire video, at the very end, I'm going to show you the damage dealt and the damage taken, as well as the healing. And I want to do this to solve two different things. First of all, Heidi has to be the main damage dealer in all of these fights. Otherwise, these are just teams that are okay with Heidi plugged in, and they probably would have won anyway. Heidi being the highest damage dealer on the team makes this team about Heidi being the damage dealer. And second, I want to prove that Maya is not the primary healer on any of these teams. And in all fights except for the absolute last fight, the healer that I stick with Maya absolutely dominates Maya in healing. So just a little fun fact there for you Maya lovers. I do really love this team. It was brought to my attention. Most of it was brought to my attention by No Mercy yesterday during the live stream, and I kind of tinkered with it a little bit to defeat these meta teams. But let's go ahead. That was rank 5 Rubber Ducky. Let's go ahead and face off against Randy in rank 4, and Randy's using Astaroth, Jorgen, ODH. I stacked my team with Magic Defense here. I used the same core. Aurora is amazing against ODH, and Aurora you get day 1, so I thought, why not just leave her in? Of course, Maya and Heidi faceless with a passive Magic Defense increase. That's his Violet ability. I thought would be incredibly effective. And then Thea's got a silence. Thea's got a pretty nice silence that I thought would be pretty effective. And then as we kind of scroll all the way to the end of the fight, we do see that Aurora did outdamage Heidi here, which is unfortunate. Probably could have played a couple of fights trying to find a way to make Heidi the highest damage dealer. But that's okay. We did defeat this team, and we did go, 5-0. We beat each of these 5 teams the first attempt. Okay. So that was rank 4 against Randy using Astaroth, Jorgen, Orion, Dorian, and Helios. So against Llamas and his Andvari Cornelius variant, I really wasn't sure what to do with it. I took Maya out. Probably could have left her in, but I really wanted to experiment with killing Andvari as quickly as possible because I felt like once I got past Andvari, this whole team was filled with squishy heroes aside from Jorgen. So I used Galahad and Xing Mao to try to get some quick physical attack on Andvari. I would say Ishmael would probably be a better choice than Galahad, but maybe you don't have Ishmael leveled up. Ishmael's probably one of the last heroes that gets leveled up for everybody because of his nerf. But I used Nebula to kind of boost the damage output of Heidi, and I kept Thea in. And I'm not sure why, but you know, magic defense, the speed up was good, the heals are good, but there's not a lot of magic damage. I guess Celeste and Jorgen do magic damage. Well, Faceless does magic damage as well. I guess it made sense to leave Thea in there. But you can see Qingmao died. Maybe Arachne would have been better. Maybe I don't know. Maybe Andvari of my own would have been better. It's hard to say. Maybe Maya leaving in there would have been better. But you can see again Heidi with the max damage output, not max damage, but the most damage, and then healing. No Maya in here to combat against, but for whatever reason, Nebula out-healed Thea in this case. Probably could have used a different healer. Probably would have been just fine with Maya in here instead of Thea or Qing Mao. So, yeah, fun stuff there. So that was Team 3. Rank 3 versus Llamas. Now let's go up against Rank 2 Steven. And Steven is using a variant of the Kira Blender. Not really a blender, actually, after all. Astaroth, Kira, Nebula, Faceless, Martha. And I knew that there wasn't as much front-loaded damage output, so I decided to plug in Marcus, because I knew that Marcus was going to get to the lowest health the quickest, and he would use his invuln buff on himself. Maya, Heidi to do tons of damage. Lian is waifu in the back to counter Kira. And then Jorgen also to counter Kira to keep her energy gain low. So between Lian putting Kira to sleep, or charming her, I guess, and then Jorgen constantly taking energy away from her, I knew that she wouldn't get more than one ultimate off, and I was hoping to not get a single ultimate off. But once Kira goes down, this fight's basically over. Astaroth Faceless Martha is not much damage output, and you can see I don't even lose a single hero. To a high damage hero like Kira, especially boosted by Nebula, I should have lost 1 to 3 heroes in this fight. But the power of Lian countering Kira, Maya and Marcus keeping everybody's health up, and then just a ton of damage output. And then we see as we get to the end screen here in just a second that Heidi again had the most damage, and you see Heidi had a good amount of damage there, and then Maya was not the max heals, it was Marcus. So having a lot of fun there. That was rank 2 versus Steven, and now finally rank 1 versus Foundry 2. He's using a Cleaver Twins Sebastian team. I went back to the Aurora Maya Heidi team. However, Sebastian makes Twins easy mode on Facebook. The twins are kind of a non-issue if you have a decent Sebastian, so just plugged him in. I also threw Dorian in there to kind of counter the enemy's Cleaver. This fight really wasn't even close, and this is the first time that Maya actually out-healed my healer, which I think it's crazy because Dorian's insane healing output. But you can see they all grouped up. As my team gets pushed back because of Lars's tornado, the enemy team keeps getting further and further grouped up, which makes Heidi's poison mushroom plant just wreck them, just destroy their core. And you can see once Lars is down, this fight's basically over. It's just a matter of time until we kill Jorgen. Jorgen's pretty tanky on defense, incredibly tanky on defense. So let's just kind of wrap this up a little bit. Couple more seconds of damage against Jorgen. No timeout here. 50 seconds left on the clock. Plenty of time. And you can see again we have pretty high damage output from our star Heidi. Almost out damaged by Maya in this situation. Maya did really good work here. Also out healing Dorian. So that's that. just a quick reminder, I do live stream every Monday through Friday. I will be live streaming again today, Tuesday, 12 p.m. Central Standard Time, 6 p.m. UTC. On screen now, I have a couple of videos that I think you might find interesting. If you thought this video was interesting, please check those videos out. They're highly educational. They might make you laugh. They might make you laugh at me. Who's to say? But, you know, either way, I love you all. Good luck in Dominion.